$100,000 Bitcoin. We made it above. Will we hold above it? We have so many charts we have to talk about today, but all of us, I didn't even put my face on this thumbnail because look at the star of the show right now. It's Bitcoin. We're going to be diving into this together. So many of you have been along this journey with us here at BitLab. We are a community. Many of you have been here since January, February 2020. Was it 2022 when we launched this channel? Of course, BitLab has been around quite a bit longer than that, but the YouTube launched in January, February, about almost 2 years ago, coming up on that. And we have been breaking down the markets. We've been really trying to make sure everybody can learn, healthy strategies, healthy tools. We've got some great signals, setups, strategies, all this and more coming. We got TA we're going to be diving into. We got to talk about what does it mean that we're above 100? Does that mean we're never going to go below it again? What happens if it breaks down? What happens if it pushes up? And so much more. Everybody get involved in the live chat. Today is the day, the best day. Shout out to Crypto Corey. Corey writes, we got to get this music jamming because, this is your song. You let us play it. And this is the exact vibe of the moment right now. Everybody stay tuned. We're diving into TA charts and more here in just a few minutes.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins. Pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. SEC and its policies rely on whatever Gary thinks. Bitcoin's a flight to quality. I heard that from Larry Fink. Every hour losing purchasing power on food and shelter. It's not our fault. Blame the coal. It's the political cowards when it comes to gas. I purchasing power just got cut in half. I sit back and laugh, open my bag, fill it with stacks and sats. Bitcoin, pumping, altcoins, pumping. I've been prepared for this. Can't tell me nothing.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. We are hearing from clients around the world.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pumping. I've been prepared for this.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as
Bitcoin, pump, altcoin, pump.
We are hearing from clients around the world.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a
Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump.
We are hearing from clients around the world.
Prepared for this.
The time is here. The time is now. We've been stacking in this entire way. We have so much to look forward to this holiday season. Bitcoin above $100,000. What does it mean? Everybody, let's get involved. Let's get into it. Let's talk crypto. Bitcoin above $100,000. You don't want to see my face right now. You want to look at this chart showing the Bitcoin price. Look, the slow burn, just burning all the way up here. We had that breakout overnight last night, right after we finished our stream. We'd had a live stream going live last night with Kevin Svensson, Matthew Highland, and myself. We were almost 2 hours live. We ended the stream at about 98.5. It was just chopping there. About 10 minutes later, I get a message from Matt. He goes, dude, it just broke 100. I thought he was joking. I threw on my pants, put a shirt back on, ran right back out to my computer, and we jumped on that live stream with Discover Crypto, with Joshua Jake, with Drew from Blockchain Basement, and we broke down what the heck is going on. It's so fun to be here in this market because I've been stacking on the upside. I've been losing on the downside. I've been winning. But this cycle, we have mastered what is going on, what our strategy is, and I hope that some of the mistakes I've had in the past that I've shared with you, I hope that some of the things that I've done in this market have given you some sort of indication as to what is going on. Let me know if the audio, visual, everything is working, because for whatever reason, let me pull that up. The live chat is not showing up for me right here. Just throw a bunch of ones in chat if audio, visual, everything is looking good, sounding good. Now let me pull up, here we go, window, go to comments. Boom. It's not showing the comments. So I hope, oh, you know why? It's because I got a word in there. We are all good. Let's get back into it because we've got a lot to cover today. And we've got a great guest showing up, not on this live stream, but we're going to have our stream, and then we're going to obviously move over to Blockchain Basement after this is done. And then when that is done, he's going to send everybody right here to BitLab Academy, right back here, because we got Leonidas coming on, one of the main guys in the ordinals community, one of the main guys in the runes community, talking about that Bitcoin meme coin and dogs. We're going to be diving into that. I'll tell you more about that later. That's going to be at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. But we got to talk about right now what's going on in this market, because look at this. This is so beautiful. Let's look at this on a larger macro scale. Of course, we had to work through all of this. We had the bull market start on this breakout, on this test right here. The bull market started, and then it just worked its way up. Last summer, 2023. Last summer, 2023. The market was just, I felt like it was never going to happen. Maybe we're going to get something like we saw in this 2019 run up and sell off. We never got it. We just kept getting these steady bounces along the way, and then the speculation of the ETF potential, and then it got approved, the sell-off, that if you sold here, then you were just doing the exact opposite thing that you should do in any market, and that is selling off in the face of the biggest capital access coming into an asset ever, on the basically the precipice of having government and world adoption. And this is what we're starting to see as it's pushed up into here. And then we had all of these moves that just chopped people out. We had the Mount Gox FUD. We had the China FUD. We had Germany selling. We've had so many different issues that if you did not manage your strategy in a good way, you might have lost a lot of money. You might have made silly decisions, but let it go. We are here to learn from our mistakes. We got so much money, so many things to change in our future by accessing this market. We did it, everybody. Bitcoin did it, and it is a decentralized ecosystem of people around the world that are believing in this. And now we have the strategic Bitcoin reserves on the horizon, not only for the nation, but also many states in the US and many nations globally will be jumping on that bandwagon soon enough. So what does this mean? We're going to be looking at TA on Bitcoin. We're going to look at Ethereum. We got to look at SUI. We got to look at Solana. There's a lot of stuff we're going to be looking at today. So stay with us here. We got to look at a couple charts first here from, just what's going on around the market. But we got that TA for you. We're going to be breaking it down. We are at $3.6 trillion total market cap. I mean, look at this impulse. Boom. We're getting that slow burn up on Ethereum as well, almost to $4,000. When Ethereum actually starts getting going, it is going to shock a lot of people. The majority of the crypto ecosystem that is not Bitcoin is built on top of Ethereum. Even if you like Polygon or Matic, Cosmos, but you don't like Ethereum, well, it's irrelevant because those are built on top of Ethereum. Ethereum is the base layer for the large market share of the crypto ecosystem. And institutions are also very heavily more focused on building out and integrating with things on the Ethereum network, just partially because of the legacy that it has and the size of that ecosystem. That does not mean other coins are not great as well. I mean, I've been sharing the altcoin portfolio that we have been stacking together. Look at this, it's up to 140. Remember, we started this in February, and I've been breaking down everything that we've been doing in here, and we're seeing, look at this, up 70% on Chainlink, 142% on ONDO, 77% on Avalanche, 118% on TAO, Aerodrome up 120%. However, I've also already pulled out $13,000 of this and reallocated that into buying other smaller, more risk on assets that had smaller market caps. We are doing it here. I truly hope you all are learning anything along the way, or at minimum asking yourself questions about different things that can help fine-tune your strategy so that you can make it in this market. A rising tide raises all ships. I truly believe that, and I'm here to do this with you all. So shout out to each and every one of you here. We're doing 3 giveaways today because today is a $100,000 Bitcoin day. It actually happened last night, but within the last 12 hours, 16 hours or so, the $100,000 mark was hit. So in order to participate in the giveaway today, we're doing 3. We're going to randomly draw 3. Head over to the BitLab, head over to the @Kelly Kellam or @BitLab Academy Twitter page. and I will drop that link in for you here in just a moment. Retweet this space right here. Hit that retweet button. Hit that like button. This is how you enter. I'm going to come right here. I'm going to copy this link. I'm going to put it in the live chat here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can go and retweet that. If you're watching on Twitter, all you have to do is just exit out of it, make it small, hit that retweet, and then bring it back full screen. I want to see everybody active in the live chat today. We're doing 3 drawings today. So let's get 2 different numbers that I can write down. This is how we're going to randomly pick the people, and stay with us because we got some charts we got to break down. Give me 2 numbers. I want one number under 10 and I want one number between 11 and 30. Let's see what those numbers are that you pop up. And I'll pay attention to that and I'll write those down. You guys are about 30 seconds delayed. Now, when we're looking at what's going on in the market right now, remember, Microsoft's not in yet. Maybe they don't accept the shareholder meeting that they're doing here in just a few days now, 5 days. They might not put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. That may put a little bit of FUD in the market for a dip buying opportunity. If they do, that's going to accelerate the Bitcoin strategy process for all, major tech companies out there. People do not, much like people, companies, and nations, people are fearful of being left behind. This is this idea of game theory. Now, I do want to shout out before we continue on. We got some super chats. We got Alexandra G dropping a $20 super chat gift here. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. KJam gifting 1 membership. KJam, another membership gifted. Green Day Profits, 5 gifted memberships. Shout out to every single one of you that is in the room. Let's see. What was the first number? Boom. I'm going back. Man, you guys are flying in the chat today. Okay, we got 2 as the first number. Green Day Profits. I see you. And then what was the number 1? The next one was, 15. Peter John Lerham. Boom. Got the 2 numbers. Now let's look at the data. We still have the $16 billion that's going to be released by March 2025. Now, whenever this actually starts to happen, whether it's lump sum or they sort of trickle it out between next week and March, we'll have to see. But this is a positive, net positive for the space. This is money that's been locked up for the better part of 2 years for people that are crypto focused. Almost $16 billion in cash. Guys, this is going to be positive. We've got this chart right here that I shared. What was this date? October 10th. And I had some other stuff I shared back in March of last year, but I was talking about this. Bitcoin ultra bull signal suggests up is the next major move. This was when price was, look down here. If we look at where this is on the chart, you can see right here, this is before the breakout. So if we look at this on the chart, this would be down in here. This would be in the mid $60,000 range. And I was telling you, I was trying to outline the data, not the price. The data was suggesting that next was up was the next major move. We've got the signals. We've been sharing them. So shout out if you've been following along and learning along the way. Now, what's going on with where we're at? Benjamin Cowan, one of my favorite analysts in the space, wonderful guy too, into the cryptoverse right here. Benjamin Cowan, what's going on? Macro look, slow burn to the upside. And now we're getting more and more capital channels. It is getting exciting. My question for you right now is, have you hit that like button? Have you clicked on this right here and turned ding the bell? Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And make sure if you want to join our free traders group where we've been dropping trades in there, we got the whole education thing that's going to be rolling out on there free. All you have to do is click to join right here. It says join our free traders group. It is right there. It's also directly below this right here. If you look at the top comment, all of our links are right there. Now, continuing on, what else do we got? Macro bullishness, new capital channels. A race to buy Bitcoin now, a finite supply. And where are we at? Is it overheated? I mean, as it shows right here, it doesn't mean we can't have a little pullback along the way, but on the macro picture, we've got a hell of a long way to go for strength to get to a point before you can see historically where you actually get the rejection, AKA the cycle top. We've got a huge amount. If you look at this in relationship, this would be like price right here. This would be like price right here. We have so much further to go. Is price high? Yes, if you're paying attention to the wrong information. Price is high if you're going to be chopped out if there's a 5% move down, even a 20% move down. The macro picture shows that the price action will be going up from here. And I even laid this out the other day it's on my pinned tweet on my page right here. I said, this is the Bitcoin era. There will be a time very soon where BB or BBit will be known as an era designation before Bitcoin. Money will always be printed. We have to realize that. This money printing, this inflation, thus Bitcoin will go up forever because there's always a devaluing of the currency and there's a finite supply of Bitcoin. So this is what we are in for. We lived before Bitcoin. We are now living in the Bitcoin era. Let's drop some ones in chat. Let's drop some BBBBBs in chat because we are here. We were here before it, and we are going to be stacking into it for me, for life. But what do we see in December? What do we see in January, February, March? Well, when September closes in the green, October, November, and December do too. So far, so good. Last year, that hot streak ran all the way into March. Look at this. September, October, November, December, January, February, March. This could spell an incredible bullish season, not only through the holiday. Yes, there will be bumps along the way. Yes, there will be some of that building the stairway to heaven. But do not lose sight of the forest for the trees because you're getting emotional right now when you have the biggest capital channels in the history of the world now selling products on Bitcoin, financial, sovereign wealth funds, pension funds, big money. This puts everybody on notice. Bitcoin has been on the world stage. Most people have had their blinders on. These blinders are getting ripped off people's faces right now. So there's no telling what's going to happen between now and the end of 2025 and beyond. But what I can tell you is historically, the data suggests when we're investing and we're trying to understand the sentiment and where the ebb and flow of the bullish and bearish narrative is, what the different impetuses are going to be, or is it impeti? I don't know. What the different things that are variables that are going to affect bullish and bearish narrative, geopolitical catastrophe. There's a lot that can go on. But right now, we are in the most bullish, asymmetrical, positive opportunity of our life. So let's stack right now and comment down below what price do you think Bitcoin's going to be at the end of 2025. I'll say it one more time. We are in the most bullish asymmetric opportunity we've ever had, even with Bitcoin at $100,000, because of how much support, acceptance, and capital channel access that has been granted and provided for now into Bitcoin in this last year. Where do you think Bitcoin's price is going to be at the end of 2025? Let's see what numbers you are thinking. I'm excited about this. We are here to ride this. We're riding this till the wheels fall off, and the wheels are not going to fall off this bicycle. So fresh capital, this is what we want to see. Fresh capital is fueling Bitcoin. As the realized cap grew, the ceiling price increased from 129,000 ceiling, meaning the likely top, grew from 129,000 to 146,000 in 30 days. Now, does this mean $146,000 is going to be the top? No. Do you see this red line right here arcing up as essentially it's a calculation based off the realized price. The realized price is the average price point that every Bitcoin in circulation, the average price of every Bitcoin in circulation the last time it was traded. Now, why is that relevant? Because some coins have been held since 2010. Some coins have been held for 3 days. Some coins have been held for 5 years. If you average the cost of every Bitcoin that's in circulation the last time it moved, that's what you're getting, this realized price or this realized cost basis. Now, based on the metrics that they're using, in this case, Ki-Young Ju, one of the top analysts in the space, the CEO of CryptoQuant, you can see as realized price moves, AKA, you see, as this price is moving up, what has to happen as this price moves up? If the Bitcoin price is moving up, that means people are buying, right? If they're buying, then what does that mean? To have a buyer, you must have a seller on the other side. To have a seller, you must have a buyer on the other side. So as coins are changing hands, these coins that are changing hands, the people that are selling on the way up are predominantly people like an exponential predominant nature of people that have bought much lower. Smart money, long-term holder money, They take profits into the strength of a bull trend and they buy into the weakness and fear of a bear trend. So you're rising the cost basis here because those older coins are moving. So now that average of every coin on network, every coin in circulation, the last time it moved goes up, and you see the ceiling moves up alongside of it. Because you can see even right here, this was 40K. That was the ceiling. Was that the top? No, because as this price moved up, the realized price did, and therefore the ceiling did as well. This just suggests an incredibly bullish metric, a very simple thing to understand if we break it down simply. If we went straight up right now with none of the stairway to heaven, if Bitcoin went straight vertical right now in one candle, it suggests that the ceiling would be 146,000. But we know that's not how the price works. It does go straight up and then consolidates and then goes up. Oh, now let's wash people out. It does everything it can to shake your ass out. If you deserve it or not will be determined on how you engage with this market. So when we're looking at that metric and we say 146,000 is the ceiling, and it went up from basically, what was that, $17,000? The ceiling went up $17,000 in 30 days, and this upward movement is only just getting started. The ceiling may end up being as the actual terminal top, where we reverse or where we actually find out later, because you're not going to know when it happens. When we find out later where this cycle top was, is going to be, it can be anywhere from this $146,000 all the way up to 300, 400, 500. We have to play this one step at a time. We're not going to be moon boys and we're not going to be bears. We're going to take this one step at a time and be open to all available ideas and figure out where the probabilities lie. But this is ultimately incredibly bullish. So continuing on, we're going to be getting in here to some TA here in just a couple seconds, a couple minutes. $128,000 by year's end. That would be, another $24,000 up from the top that we just had last night. We are finding price discovery, supports, and resistances because price has never been at this level before. But this chart, giant macro midterm cycle bull pennant, suggests the target is $128,000. But that's just one guy drawing lines. Okay, let's go to another thing here. The Kobayashi letter. Breaking, prediction markets now see Bitcoin rising to $128,000 by the end of this month. Realize that. Realize where we are right now. There's projections, data-backed projections that suggest Bitcoin could rise another $24,000 to $30,000 in the next 25 days. In the next 25 days, Bitcoin is projected to possibly move a larger amount of capital in price expansion than it did the entire first 13 years Bitcoin existed. From zero to the market cycle top in 2017 was about $19,700. And there was so much work to be done to get there. There was a lot of broken bones and bruises and lost money and made money. And now we're about to do, it's projected very heavily probable that it can happen in the next 25 days. And it's only up from here. Make sure you follow us for more. We're going to keep you on the right side of the trend. That's what we do here at BitLab Academy. Now, diving into what's going on here, what does this mean? Over the last month, prediction markets have raised their Bitcoin price targets from have raised their Bitcoin price target from 77,000 to 128,000, according to Kalshi. That's one of those betting markets like Polymarket. There's now even a 10% chance of Bitcoin crossing above 150,000 by the end of the year. I was just on last night with Mark Yusko on the Discover Crypto stream, the $100,000 Bitcoin stream we did last night. And then I was just on with him about an hour and a half ago on the Mario Naval's Twitter Spaces, where I was co-hosting there with Buzz, and had Peter Branton there, Mark Yusko, and these are not moon boys. Mark Yusko is a hedge fund manager in both traditional assets and crypto. He is one of the smartest people, most cogent, articulate people in the crypto ecosystem. And he was talking about, it wouldn't be outlandish to see $150,000 Bitcoin by the middle of Q1, which is what? Middle of Q1 is 6 weeks from now. That is incredible where we're at right now, that people that are not moon boys, people that are database, that people that it is offensive to their entire business paradigm if they are not accurate about what possibilities are. So if you're not strapped in, what are you doing? Strap in, because we've got some things to talk about. And then the last thing here, we got to keep in mind, we're so bullish about where this can go. Let's take a brief moment and just share one of the best charts out there. It's a signal. It's not just specifically from Titan of Crypto. Make sure you follow this individual, but this is, you can find this. You can just search online, Pi Cycle Top Bitcoin. You can find it on Bitcoin Magazine or look into bitcoin.com. You can find it on all the different check on chain, I believe. There's a bunch. I think BN Crypto is another one. But essentially what you're looking at here is a moving average is 111. So 111 on the daily, and then the moving average 350 times 2. So this is basically about a 700 moving average. And what you see when these essentially intersect or kiss, this is marked the top. This perfectly marked the top back here in 2018. Perfectly marked the top right here. This is kind of a little bit of a I don't want to call it a diversion. This was just an interesting double top because of the market nature, but this, for all intents and purposes of how things are measured in the market, the top, look at how far apart these are right now. Some say Bitcoin is close to its peak, but nothing is certain. I agree with that. A reliable tool, the Pi Cycle Top, when the MA 111 crosses above the MA moving average, that's what MA stands for, 350 times 2, the top is likely in. Until then, the run continues. Regardless, if price reverses here over a multi-week, even a multi-month period, yes, we're bullish, but these markets can do some crazy things, especially with what we see happening on the geopolitical stage right now. If something happens and this does roll over, it doesn't mean the bull market's over. It's not the bull market. I would argue would not be over until this not only breaks below this level here, which is 52, but actually comes down and tests, I mean, it'd have to be well below the 200-day moving average, which I don't even know where that is at right now. Let's look at it. 200-day, let's turn it on here. And this would be this purple one right here. Let's turn it on. Let's make it bright as it can be. Let's make it yellow so we can see it clearly. Now the 200-day moving average. Oh man, this moved up beautifully. That is excellent. So the 200-day moving average is at 67,000. So once we start losing this and pushing down, that would be a bear market. And I'm not trying to be a bear, but when we're looking at where we're at right now, we're being so bullish. Let's try to at least have some sort of consideration. What are some of the tools I'm going to look for to have my exit strategy so I don't, as Alexandra G said in here, as I've said, as most of you have done on at least one asset, we've all round tripped a whole cycle, and it's so frustrating to be so in the profit and not get out, and then you still think it's going to go up. You still think it, and you end up round tripping all the way back down to the original price you bought it at, and the price could even go below that level. We're not doing that. We are making money in this project, in this market. So let's talk about it. Let's just keep our eyes open. Let's keep our eyes on the prize and make sure we are focused on strategy, not just hopium. Let me take a look, make sure I didn't miss anything. Shout out again to Alexander G, KJam, Green Day Profits for the super chats, for the gifted memberships. You guys help keep this going. And my boy in the house, Mr. Alex Green, I see you, my friend. Thank you for all the help that you've given over the years as well. 386 people watching on YouTube. Another 400 or 500 watching on Twitter. Shout out to each and every one of you. Hold on, I lost you. My mouse was right next to the switcher, and I thought I hit the end button, and that would have sucked. So let's keep it going. Okay, let's do some TA. Let's look at what we want to look at. $100,000. What happens if we lose $100,000? Nothing structurally changes. $100,000 in reality is a psychological number. It doesn't really have relevance in the TA of the situation. Forget the $100,000 mark right now. It probably will be a little bit of a catalyst for short-term period acceleration or increase in sort of bearish narrative, which I believe in my strategy and the way I look at this analysis, I think that would create a very good bear trap opportunity. Meaning, if the price does come down, bounces 100, loses it, and comes down, people are going to the bears are going to be like, I told you. We'll get a wick, and this will come up and just absolutely, this is what I predict will happen if the price does come down and lose that $100,000 mark. So do not be so worried about it, because as it stands right now, you see right at $99,000, which is where we reversed when we did not get up past that 100 mark earlier. It was this November 22nd. This is a previous range top right here. Let's draw a line. Boom, right there. Option J, we see it. So very regularly in markets, price action pushes up, comes back and tests. Look where it tested. All these range tops. Okay. Pushes up, and it didn't really test down, but it kind of held that shelf right there. We see even if we go back, let's go on the 8-hour chart. We see even this whole cycle. Look at this. Push up. Where'd it come back to? Right here. Tested previous range top. Push up. It did. This was just a double top here, so it tested the same floor. Now look. Push up. Okay, this is just bullish. But then what happens? Got a little too bullish. Shake some of the bulls off. Where'd it test? Right in this range with all this chop. This is what happens on a more regular basis than you know in this market. So forget the $100,000 for a moment. As exciting as it is, let me delete that so I don't have a dirty, ugly chart. As exciting as this is, it's not the end of the world if we see a little bit of I don't want to say a sell-off, but a little bit of a move to test the resolve of where the bulls come in. So let's pay attention to everything right now on a strategy basis, not on what are my emotions feeling because I'm overexposed in the market and what if it drops from here. Well, that's something that has to do with your strategy that's already flawed. Let's fix that going forward. Let's act less emotionally. Let's act more strategy based in this market. Shout out to everybody in the room. We got the markets vibing today. And shout out to Zach Humphreys. We had him on last night, and Dennis Porter. Such a good community we have. And I do want to shout out everybody. Just reminder, we broke $100,000. And as I said, it's finally happening now. We have that deal for BitLab Academy. If you have any question about what's a candle, what are candle patterns? How do I do this better? What are, different trading strategies? What is a Bollinger Band? What's an RSI? What's a stochastic? How do I use those in combination with looking at the charts to build my own analysis? Tokenomics, how to understand what token to pick. We have a full academy. The link is right here, lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. That deal is going away. You'll be able to lock it in for the life of your account, but that deal you'll see right here, lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. I'm going to put that in the live chat. It's also pinned in the top of the live chat there as well. Again, that's lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. You can basically get 15 days free and then lock in about 35% discount for the life of your account. And also, this is for the Discord where we got the member streams and the charts and the setups, and such a great community there. But you can also upgrade and get the indicators we use, as well as 120 different lessons, on-chain data, candles, all of it's there. This deal, you'll always be able to sign up, but that great deal is going away after, I think tomorrow it's ending, because we broke past 100,000. So let's get back and look at these charts. We know what's going on with Bitcoin. We've talked about this till we're blue in the teeth. The next target up for me is looking up here in this $108,000, $110,000 range. If we really want to look at this, what we want to do, option F, draw a fib from here to here. We can see that 2.618 is at that $113,000 mark right up in here. So this is going to be an interesting area once we get in the $108,000 and $110,000 range, because there's a lot of liquidity up there that I do think if we're able to, I think we'll probably butt our head against that, come down, test it a little bit. But once we clear this node of all that basically open interest, shorts, free liquidity in the charts, I think the next move is going to be relatively quick up into the 113 to 118 sort of range. And then the next node, the next fib is all the way up here at $137,000. Perfectly in line with what we were talking about earlier, with the pattern here suggesting 128,000. Does it mean it's going to happen in the next few days? Does it mean it's going to happen next month? Let's take this one step at a time. But we know what's going on here. We've been talking about it. Let's dive in also and talk about Ethereum, because Ethereum is, making some moves. But I do want to point out a little bit of a potential short-term bearishness. Just made a 12% move on Ethereum. But look, it's in a rising wedge. These rising wedges, more often than not, break to the downside. Does breaking to the downside mean the bullish trend is over for Ethereum? No, it means it might break to the downside. And what did we just talk about before? Look to that next node of where the previous range tops were. That would be my first target on Ethereum right here in this $3,700 range. In fact, that would be very bullish to have a reset there, test the resolve of the bulls, bounce from there and go. If this is lost, then where do we look next? We look at this next range, which is right here, these range lows, which is what perfectly in line with this also these range highs. This also happened. Yeah. So, this would be the next level I'd be looking at 3,500. But although this is a short-term bearish sort of pattern on the 2-hour chart, this does not worry me about the macro trend of Ethereum. In fact, when Ethereum does start to run, I think it's going to be exemplary. It's going to be stellar. On the macro, on the ETH to Bitcoin chart, we see a falling, meaning it's angled downwards. The patterns angled upwards tend to break down, meaning the move out of them will be to the downside, which can then resolve back to the upside. But we're just talking about how to catch moves as they're happening. When you have these broadening wedges, this pattern angled down, these tend to break to the upside. Now, if this does start to break to the upside, we've talked about this till we're blue in the face. The next level up is right up in this zone right in here, basically 0.04 Bitcoin. The next move up is going to be up here at this 0.045. And then once we're able to not only clear this line, but also, as you can see here, let's just extend this out a bit. This sort of zone right here is going to be the contention zone for Ethereum once it's able to get out of this. And remember, this is the ETH to Bitcoin pairing. So this is showing when ETH is outperforming Bitcoin. The price might already be moving up well, but we're really interested in when this really starts to break out of this and really starts to run, because that'll be another monster signal for the rest of the altcoin market that things are going to start to really get exciting. Because everybody, we've seen incredible gains in our altcoin portfolio, but this isn't even really that exuberant alt season that we've seen in the last two cycles that we've had alts, where it's every day 20%, 30%, 15%, 130%, 20% on almost everything across the board. We've seen some scattershot so far. XRP had $100 billion come into it. We saw XLM do really well. We saw Algorand. We saw HBAR. But the majority, there's so much capital coming to this market. And that's not even to mention later on next year at some point when, it's only speculated right now, but these applications that are out for different various altcoin crypto index ETFs, specific crypto project like XRP, Solana, Chainlink, there's a number out there that have various independent spot ETF applications already in. We have been stacking for a reason, and this is it. We are in that mode right now. So let's look at some of those other ones. ONDO made a mass. Look at this move we made on ONDO from all the way down here at 58 cents all the way up here to almost $2. It's like $1.91. Now, yesterday, what did I point out? Look at this that we pointed out the target that it might reverse at. Look at this. It's having trouble here. It hadn't reversed yet, but I did speak about a potential move down to this $1.50 mark. So we're still going to keep our eyes on this mark. The lines are there. If this is able to hold here and continue breaking out, great. Remember, we just got Paul Atkins suggested as the next chairman of the SEC. He's also on the board of advisors, on the advisory board for Securitize. But Kelly, we're looking at ONDO. ONDO is part of BITL. BITL is basically an infrastructure and RWA investment grouping that BlackRock has, and that is done and organized through Securitize. So the next SEC chair is on the board of directors on something that is directly participating or advising on or in some way relevant to what's happening with ONDO. This is major. In addition, guys, I could not be more bullish right now. Let's look at Aerodrome. Aerodrome also, look, rising wedge. We talked about this. We are at the upper bounds. Does this mean it's all over? No, but it does suggest, there's conflicting signals here. The pattern suggests that we might bounce back down, get a move to the downside. However, momentum is expanding to the upside. We got money flow that just turned positive. We have strong buying power, which is why these candles down here on the BitLab trading stack, these turned green. So not only is momentum going up, you're getting a lot of buys coming in. In fact, if we turn on the other part of the BitLab trading stack right here, look, the candle turned teal. That teal candle says that underlying in this time period, a lot more buying pressure came in. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, increased buys. It was like, boom, a disproportional large number of buys came in. But look, now we have this yellow candle. This yellow candle painted by the BitLab trading stack shows it's kind of stopping volume. All of a sudden, all that extra buying power just kind of evaporated, and we're getting that trend shift signal right here, which can be pretty accurate on various time frames when you're looking at a potential reversal. Here it showed it was going to slow down. It did. Then we got the reversal REV. Boom, moved to the upside. Right here, we got the bullish setup. The reversal, the candles broke through in this zone. Bullish divergence on the BitLab trading stack. Momentum waves down here. Price action move up. Back down to the trend line. 2 bullish divergences. Launch to the upside. Guys, remember, you can take advantage of these indicators. You got the link right there. It's on the upgrade after the first section that you sign up on. And remember, when you get the indicators, you get the full courses as well. It's a great way to help support the channel as well. Now, what we're looking at here, I don't want to say concerned. We have seen a lot of great movement for Aerodrome pushing up like this. It wouldn't be unfounded for this to basically take resistance on this trend line that it's, look, it already rejected once. It came up again. If this rejects, the bullishness would be to reject and hold on the 50% marker, roughly right here. But I would expect if this does reject, will likely come down to at least $1.69, which is where this weekly VWAP is. Weekly VWAP. The volume weighted average price. That's what VWAP standard for. So this is over a weekly time frame where, based on volume traded at various price points, you get an average over the course of a week. This is a great signal to talk about the strength. Are the market makers, are the traders trying to play this positive spread, meaning price moves away from the VWAP, comes back, tests it away, and they're playing this trade on these scalp moves? Or is it more of a bearish narrative where it loses a VWAP, rejects at it? Look at this, trap, reject, 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 reject now. So this is what I'm looking here. The next level down will be down here into the $1.55 mark. Now remember, this is a rising wedge. This would not shock me if this did break down here and really washed people out into a bear trap, because this is what we've been talking about. As bullish as things are, I'm watching for these things where it tries to convince people to break down. And this is exactly where I'd be looking right here because of all this chop, all of this right in here. I'd be looking for basically $1.37, $1.34. And to me, this would be a dream buy before the next leg to the upside. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying I'm prepared if this does break down. I'm not going to get emotional. I'm going to say, ooh, I get to stack before the big move comes. XRP, I mean, just bull flag. It's kind of a bull flag, more of just like a move with a continuation breakout. Got it, still a little bit of a bull flag right here. If XRP can hold this sort of zone, great. But I do suspect, I feel, because this moves so fast, maybe Caleb Franzen pointed this out earlier. There's something known as a lockout rally. A lockout rally is when you're trying to get into an asset, but you see it pump, and you're like, I'm going to get in when it pulls back. And it never pulls back. That's a possibility because of the bullish exuberance and how much changed on a regulatory landscape and government acceptance and a government administration that's supportive of Bitcoin and crypto and the world stage talking about their integrations of crypto and the institutions. We are in a different place right now with this market. We need to be looking for what our time horizons are over the many months. And if you're sidelined right now, I wouldn't be waiting. We could get a large pullback, but it might just run away. If you're going to lock in any positions, be very aware that that there still could be, there's very possible chance with the bullishness that we do get a washout, but it's kind of both ideals right now you have to consider. Don't get yourself seeing the entire market running away from you for the next year and a half. And you're like, God dang it. Why didn't I just eat that entry. But you have to do it based on your own diligence. None of this is financial advice. I'm just talking about strategy here. Avalanche also looking good. Slow burn to the upside, coming into a known zone. We got the trend shift right here. See, same thing happened right here, but all it turned into was basically a bullish bull flag pattern. Let's see what happens here. Let's watch for if Avalanche does lose this trend signal line and the weekly VWAP. I'd be watching for a price target down here in the 44 sort of range. If this does break out, then let's look at that 12-hour, double click here. We'd be watching, the next target up is the 63 level. The next target after that is 80. TAO, I still think it's going to run away from us in this market. $700. But Kelly, $700 is expensive. Why would I spend $700 when I could get something like Cardano that's only $1.22 or Aerodrome that's $1? The price doesn't freaking matter. Realize that. You have to look at the price. See these prices? Look at the price in relationship to the market cap, this here, and the total token, the circulating supply. You have to understand that metric. Look at these projects. It's separate from the price. The price will only give you a metric to identify levels on a chart that you're going to enter or exit. Because right here, when we get back over to TAO, I honestly think TAO it's a beautiful project because it's a DePIN infrastructure protocol. But the infrastructure that it's an AI infrastructure for building out marketplaces for AI to collaboratively in decentralized manner build out AI tools. So you're getting the benefit of two narratives there. And people like Chamath Palihapitiya, one of the early devs and investors, or major player in I believe it was Facebook, could have been Google. It's one of the two. But he's also on the All In podcast, multi-billionaire VC. He's one of the people talking about this as well. And it's at $709. But what is the market cap? Sorry, what is the token supply? If we come over here, let's go to TAO. This is going to blow your mind. All these other coins out here, let me just show you. All these coins out here, look, 19 million. The total supply of this is 21 million. Look, XRP, 57 billion. The total supply, 100 billion. BNB, right here, 144 million. Okay, we got Dogecoin, 147. Is that billion or trillion? It's ridiculous. And then you get down to TAO. And where is TAO? I just want to see where it is on the coin. There it is. Boom. Look at this. There's only 7 million out. And the total supply is 21 million. Similar to Bitcoin. Does this mean it's going to go to the price of Bitcoin? No. But theoretically, it could at the price level that Bitcoin's at now. But Bitcoin's price will be so much higher because there's so much broader acceptance, integration, and use case in terms of the financial markets as it is. And again, I'm not saying this is going to that price, but I'm just saying that this price is relatively low for the token supply and where we're going with AI. So there's so much to talk about here. It's nonstop. I do want to shout out, we're going to head over to Blockchain Basement here in a moment, but I do want to just remind you all, today at 1:30 p.m., we have 3 giveaways to do here in just a moment before we go. At 1:30 p.m., we have one of the main people from Ordinals and Runes, one of the main contributors and main people with the dog ecosystem. And it's not Doge. It's not something on. This is a meme coin, AKA it's a community on Bitcoin. On Bitcoin, it's fair value. I'm not paid by them. They don't pay anybody. There's not one paid marketer, influencer out there. It's a fair community thing. That's why I'm interested in it, because it's actually a community-driven thing. And they might be getting some pretty major listings soon. They're not listed on any major exchange. So we're going to talk to Leonidas today at 1:30 p.m. In about in 1 hour. So Blockchain Basement's going live now. We're going to go live with this at 1:30 right after Blockchain Basement. But let's do the giveaway really quickly because we got to throw it over to them. Pulling it up right here. Let's boom, boom, boom. Only 23 of you guys care about participating and spreading the word. We got to get more. We got to teach people how to engage with free content out here, man. Come on, man. Share the love. Hit the like. Get involved in the comments, man. But thank you to those 23 people. Let's see. Here we go. So we got, what was the numbers? 2 and 15. So 15 divided by 2, 7. Let's do actually 2 first. So 2, 1, 2. We got K-Jam. You win. I got something for you. I will message you after the stream. And I'm going to ask you which one of the two things you want. And then we got 15. So let's do 15. That'll be the next one. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Mr. Falco, you get the second one. And then we will do, let's do 15 minus 2, 15, 14, 13. So that was 15, 14, 13. Nicole Tater, you're just a winner. So all of you reach out to me. Falco, how am I not following you? Let's make sure. I'm going to coordinate with you guys, get you some stuff. Congratulations, everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the camaraderie here on this channel and building this out together. $100,000 Bitcoin. This is only just getting started. Do not get shaken out if this drops along the way, because the future is only just getting started with all the biggest players in the world only now starting to get involved. That's all we got. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Head over to Blockchain Basement. I'll see you on the 1:30 p.m. stream here on YouTube and on Twitter. We're going to have it both with Leonidas from the dog community. That's all I got. Adios.